to Libib's booktube channel. My name is Kayled. Welcome back to another bookish video. I'm in my comfy sweater. We got Baby Yoda here, or Grogu. And today we are going to be doing the Reader Problems book tag, which was originally created by Tiffany about to read. I got 99 problems and being a book reader is one. Question number 1. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? I am a huge mood reader, so right now I'm really focusing on all of my fall books. That's what I've been reading mostly right now. Once fall ends, I don't know where I'm gonna go from there, honestly, but as of right now I have this huge focus on that, and trying to pick books, I always just kind of look at my bookshelf, like kind of what piques my interest or what books I've recently bought. That kind of plays into the role of what I decide to pick up next. It's really just a gamble. I'll make a TBR, like I will put it on paper, I will make a video about it, but actually like committing to the book is a whole different concept and idea for me. So it just really depends upon my mood and what I want to pick up. Question number 2, you are halfway through a book and you are just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I guess it really depends upon the book. If it's a really terrible book, sometimes I'll just set it down and maybe I'll come back to finish it later. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just DNF it. Sometimes if it's really terrible, I do want to see like what the end all be all is. Like, how did we get from point A to point B, and like why is this so terrible? It just really depends upon the book and the commitment I want to give. Question number 3, the end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away from your Goodreads goal. Do you try to catch up, and if so, how? Currently, as I'm making this video, I am 2 books behind on my Goodreads / yearly book challenge. The page and all my other challenges, yeah, that's a whole nother mess, but the Goodreads one, I've just been committed to reading nothing but graphic novels and poetry here on out. Until I make my reading goal, then I will get back into actual physical novels, but until then I am just focused on those short, easy to read books that I know I will help carry me to my goals. Question number 4, covers of a series do not match. How do you cope? Honestly, I mean, at this point, it is what it is. Either you're gonna love the new covers or hate the new covers, and that's just the way she goes. I mean, I can cry and pout all I want, but nothing is going to change. So I honestly just kind of take it with a grain of salt. It's all part of a marketing process from the marketing side and the standpoint of behind the scenes of like the book and like the publishing world. So I understand they have to make the cover change and they have to do what they need to do to sell that book. So at this point, I'm just like, meh, whatever, give me a book. And if the cover is better, like 10 out of 10 would recommend. But if the cover is bad, then I'm like, why? Like, why did we decide to do this and go this route? Question number 5, everyone and their mother loves a book that you don't really like. Who do you bond over with shared feelings? Typically, if there is a book that everyone is loving and I'm not, I'm just like, it is what it is, I really don't care. But if I'm very passionate about the book, I will argue it until it's death that like, you know what, this is a good book and it will forever be a good book and this is the reasons why. But at the end of the day, I agree to disagree. If I really love this book and other people don't, then I'm like, man, it is what it is. And if other people love this book and I really don't, like, it is what it is. Question number 6. You're reading a book in public and you start crying. How do you deal? Well, this has never happened to me, so I don't know how I would deal. I would probably just pretend like I need to blow my nose or something. Question number 7, a sequel of a book that you love just came out, but you forgot a lot of information in the prior novel. Will you reread said book? Do you skip the sequel? Do you try to find a synopsis on Goodreads? Like, what's the go-to? If there is a book that Pullin' Bananas has done like a book talk over, I typically go to that just to do a little refresher. I am not one for rereading books unless it is like my favorite graphic novel or like my favorite books of all time. Other than that, I just like hope for the best and just go right on through. Question number 8, you do not want anyone, and I mean anyone, borrowing your books. How do you politely tell someone no when they ask? I have recently just loaned a book for the first time since probably middle school. So like probably 2008, 2009. This is like the first time that I'm like, here's my child, please take care of her, please return her in one piece back. I'm always nervous that if I were to loan a book out, it will get damaged, water damage, someone will lose it, this and that. Like I am terrified of one of my favorite books, like just disappearing and never coming back again. Nobody has asked to borrow a book in such a long time, but with this instance, I was like, here's this book. Otherwise, I would be like, nope, sorry. Like this is like a personal copy that has a lot of emotional ties. I'll go buy you one, but you are not having this one. Question number 9, reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books within the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? And as a longtime reading slumpy, you just let it happen. At least I do. There's nothing worse than like trying to keep reading books and this and that and nothing working out. Sometimes you just need to not read, and that's sometimes my favorite thing is sometimes, you know what, I don't like to read, I don't want to read. There will be a time when reading will come back into my life and I will magically love it like I never loved anything before. And that's kind of how I see it. Like it's either meant to be or it's not. And if it's such a big issue where you're like, I can't find anything and nothing sounds good, then I just let it be for a while and then eventually go back to it. Because question number 10. There are so many new books that are coming out and you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? I actually just try to buy the books that I really, really want to read like right now, or that I think that I will be able to read in like the next several months. Which leads us into question number 11. After you bought new books, you can't wait to get. How long do they typically sit on your shelf? It depends. It depends on the book. It kind of depends on my reading mood, how I'm feeling. There have been a bunch of books I recently bought, some that I'm just starting right away, others that I'm like, I should pay attention to on my bookshelf, that have been on my TBR shelf for such a long time. It just really depends. Since I'm a mood reader, it just really depends upon my mood. If I buy a bunch of books and then I like don't get to them for a while, like that's how it is, but I try to buy the books and I try to read them as soon as possible. And then if not, they just sit on my shelves for years until I may eventually get to them or I eventually get rid of them. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the reader problems book tag. Do you have any reading problems? Let me know in the comment section down below. And anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for a new bookish video.